Cleveland Browns are stuck in a big mess with their quarterbacks, and it's all happening right now. One quarterback keeps getting hurt, another can't throw the ball well, and the one everyone's excited about? He's walking around in his gear, injured, but still grabbing all the attention. The coach doesn't know what to say. Some fans think they know who should be the main guy, but the stats aren't helping anyone. There's talk in the locker room, confusion at practice, and a big boombox moment that got everyone talking. This isn't just a fight for the top quarterback spot. It might be the wildest quarterback tryout the Browns have ever seen. Between Shadair Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, and Tyler Huntley, what was supposed to be a normal preseason has turned into a crazy quarterback merry-go-round that won't stop. And if you think it's just about what happens on the field, you're missing the bigger story. Because behind the scenes, something way bigger is going on, and it might show the Browns' struggle between who's in charge and what the team's vibe is. It wasn't just a bad day for Dillon Gabriel. It was really tough. He only completed 6 passes out of 19 tries. That's just 31%. And yup, that's real. He missed 13 throws in less than 20 tries. And even though he got 2 touchdowns, he was all over the place. And it wasn't just one day. The day before, he only got 1 out of 5 passes. That's not just bad, it's worrying. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco, who's 40 years old, threw 2 touchdowns in just a few plays. And Tyler Huntley didn't even get to play. Fans couldn't tell if the Browns were making smart choices or just picking names out of a hat for who gets to practice. Even the coaches couldn't give a clear answer. When Kevin Stefanski was asked who might start, he looked like he was dodging questions in a movie. Super vague, careful, and totally unsure. It's obvious the team wanted to figure out their quarterback, but nobody was ready to say who. And Gabriel? He wasn't just trying to win the starting spot. He was fighting to prove he should even get to practice. But the bigger drama was just starting, and it had nothing to do with a bad throw. Just when the Browns needed to know who their quarterback was, Shadair Sanders got hurt with an oblique injury. The timing was awful. They were in the middle of joint practices, the preseason was heating up, and now their most hyped-up rookie couldn't throw. He was stuck on the sidelines. Head coach Kevin Stefanski said the injury wasn't too bad. But it was enough to keep him out for a little bit. As expected, the coach didn't say much more. Day to day was all he'd say, over and over like a stuck song. But actions speak louder than words. And guess what? Shedeur wasn't hiding in the locker room. He was out there, in his gear, pads on, walking around the field, laughing with teammates. If you didn't know, you'd think he was fine. That's what made this different. Most rookie quarterbacks who get hurt early stay out of sight, avoid cameras, and wait until they're better. But Shedeur, he stayed front and center, like he wasn't going anywhere. Whether it was a mind game or just his personality, he wasn't just resting. He was still leading the vibe. But as the team got ready for Saturday's game, Shedeur was back in the news. And the game hadn't even started, but Shadair Sanders was already stealing the show. He didn't walk into the stadium quietly with headphones like most quarterbacks. Nope. He came in with teammates, carrying a boombox, blasting his own music. His name, his song, his moment. And just like that, social media went wild. Some people called it too much. Others said it was the kind of energy the Browns needed. But no matter what people thought, one thing was clear. Shedeur wasn't trying to be just another quiet rookie waiting for respect. He walked in like a star before he'd even thrown a single NFL pass. But here's what most people didn't know. That moment wasn't random. It was planned. Behind the music and the bold attitude was veteran cornerback Tony Brown, an 8-year NFL player who turned up Shedeur's song on purpose, walking next to him like a protector with a mission. Don't hide your shine. Brown later explained it all, from the big reason behind the boombox to the deeper goal he had that day. And what started as a bold walk-in turned out to be about something way more meaningful. What looked like a showy entrance with a speaker and swagger was actually the end of a spiritual trip and the start of something special. That boombox moment, it was tied to a deeper ritual, one that started far away in Ghana. Tony Brown, the 8-year NFL vet who walked with Shedeur that day, wasn't just making noise. He'd recently gone to Ghana on a football mission with teammate Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. While there, they visited Cape Coast, a heavy place tied to the slave trade. It was there, walking barefoot in the sand, that Brown says something or scepter washed up at his feet. Chiefs, elders, and locals told him it wasn't just a piece of wood. In their traditions, that was rare and powerful. He didn't call it a lucky stick, he brought it home. It became a spiritual symbol, one about heritage, strength, and ancestors' power. And on that game day, he carried it with him. That wasn't just support, that was spiritual energy. Tony Brown said he wanted to protect Shedeur from all the outside noise and remind him he wasn't alone, that his confidence wasn't showing off, it was his legacy. But not everyone felt the same about the moment, and soon, people started criticizing the whole vibe. When Shadair Sanders walked onto the field with a boombox playing his own music, the internet got mad right away. People said he was being too much, cocky, or trying to act like a superstar before proving himself. They questioned his focus, his attitude, even who he was as a person. But just a few days later, a video of the Browns' offensive line dancing in the tunnel, in full uniforms with cameras on, got no hate. Not a single bad headline, just laughs and shares. So why was it a big deal for one but not the other? Tony Brown wondered the same thing. The same people who called Shedeur out for showing off didn't say a word when other players did way more during pregame stuff. It wasn't about the noise, it was about who was making it. And that's what made this feel like more than just football. When young black quarterbacks like Shedeur act confident, people often call it ego. But when others do it, it's passion, fun, team spirit. If the boombox came out with someone else, would people still be upset? Meanwhile, while everyone was talking about Shedeur, one person was feeling the pressure in a totally different way. Dillon Gabriel. While everyone was focused on Shedeur's big entrance, Dillon Gabriel was quietly dealing with his own problems. And they had nothing to do with music or the internet. Gabriel was supposed to be the safe choice, the steady quarterback who could step up if Shedeur wasn't steady. But after a bunch of bad practices, that idea started to fall apart. One day, he went 1 for 5. The next, 6 completions out of 19 tries. Sure, he got a couple touchdowns, but when you're only hitting 31% of your passes 2 days in a row, nobody's giving you a high five. Even worse, the Browns didn't seem sure if they trusted him at all. The way they split up practice reps was super messy. Tyler Huntley barely got to play, and Gabriel, he only got a few chances. That's not enough to really test a quarterback, but it's enough to make people wonder. Some fans started asking, are the coaches already giving up on him? And it's not just about the numbers. Unlike Shedeur, Gabriel didn't have a big group cheering him on. Not much talk online, no support from the team, no big entrances, just a lot of question marks. And if the Browns aren't sure about both of their top quarterbacks, then what's the plan? The Browns came into camp hoping to figure out their quarterback. Instead, they got a big mess. Shadair Sanders showed he's got potential and the star power to lead a team. But now he's hurt and stuck in a media storm over boomboxes and confidence. Dillon Gabriel was supposed to be the safe backup, and he's struggling big time in practice. Then there's Tyler Huntley, who's basically been forgotten. So they've got a list of quarterbacks, but no clear winner. And behind it all, head coach Kevin Stefanski is sweating through press conferences, trying to act calm while the team and the fans are begging for a plan. But how do you keep things moving when you don't even know who's starting next week? This quarterback mess isn't just about who's on the roster. It's setting the whole vibe for the preseason. The offense looks slow. The camps turned into a media circus, and fans can't agree. Some love Shedeur's energy, others want Gabriel's experience. But nobody's seeing great plays from either. And with a huge preseason game coming up, one play could change it all, or make things even worse. This was supposed to be a normal preseason. Check out the players, pick a quarterback, and keep going. Instead, the Browns are stuck in a wild storm of drama, injuries, bad plays, and team culture clashes. Shadair Sanders brought energy, attention, and leadership, even while hurt. But that kind of confidence comes with some pushback. One walk-in with a boombox changed what people were talking about, and suddenly it wasn't about his football smarts. It was about his attitude. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel was supposed to stay quiet and take over. But after 2 bad practices and not much support, he's starting to look like a question mark. And through it all, the Browns seem stuck, with fans watching, the media buzzing, and no quarterback clearly stepping up as the guy. The truth is, this isn't just about stats. It's about how people see you. In the NFL, how you act can be just as important as how you play. One quarterback's getting heat for having too much personality, the other for not showing enough promise. But someone's got to step up soon. Because in Cleveland's quarterback fight, the pressure isn't just coming from the other team. It's coming from the whole world watching. And with the most watched preseason game in over a decade already done, the next part could change everything we think we know about who's really ready.